This is shocking. Brock Purdy did an interview yesterday with Yahoo Sports, and the article buried the lead. They start off saying Brock Purdy's out of his arm brace, which sort of implies that he's ahead of schedule and it's great news. And then a couple paragraphs down, they say that he said he's, quote, not really sure, honestly, if he'll play in 2023, and that he's just taking it one day at a time. Excuse me? He's not really sure if he's going to play at all in 2023. That's news, and that's shocking, and it feels like the first honest assessment of his injury yet that we've gotten from the team. We've gotten a lot of inconsistent assessments. John Lynch says, oh yeah, he'll be back for training camp. You got Kyle Shanahan saying, actually, he might not be back until week 4, and now Brock Purdy says, actually, he might not be back at all this year. This feels like the truth. It seems like the Niners should and probably will try to buy as much time here as possible. If he's not going to have OTAs or minicamp or training camp or preseason, what's the point? What good is it to rush him back midseason? It shows no confidence in the rest of your quarterbacks or your team, and you're potentially putting him in a position to fail because he's not a 10-year vet. He has 8 career starts. He's still 22 years old. And if he comes back with no preparation off a serious injury and gets injured again or just stinks, well, then you've ruined him. You could ruin his confidence. You could ruin him. So it seems like, yeah, this makes sense to me. There is a real chance he won't play at all in 2023, and I think it would explain the Niners' moves. They've kept Trey Lance for now. They signed Sam Darnold, who has big-time playing experience for a guy who's still relatively young, and they've been kicking the tires on quarterbacks in the draft who are going to get taken way before round 7. Last year, they just wanted a backup, so they took the last pick. They took a quarterback with the last pick in the draft. They could have taken one as an undrafted free agent. Now they're looking at Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Tanner McKee, and Jake Haener. Those are guys who could go in round 3 or round 4, right where the Niners have draft picks. And I believe the Niners are going to take one of those 3. I do. I think they're looking real hard, and I think they're thinking, hey, best case scenario, Brock doesn't play this year. We won't need him. Trey plays well, or Darnold plays well, or someone we draft plays well. But if Purdy doesn't play this year, the Niners need another quarterback. They only have 2. They're going to need a third guy, and you're thinking, well, he's got to be on the practice squad. They got to hide him on the practice squad. Maybe not. Maybe the Niners will have 3 quarterbacks on their active roster this year, and one of them won't be Brock Purdy. I still think that's the best way to proceed with him. It's a serious injury that he suffered. It happened 3 months ago in January. Give him a year. He's not going to have any offseason to get prepared. So give him a year to rehab. Give him all of next offseason to get prepared. And when he comes back in 2024, he'll be himself. This year, I don't know about that. So put him on ice. Keep Lance. Keep Darnold. Draft, I suggest, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I predict that if Dorian Thompson-Robinson is available when the Niners pick at the end of round 3, which is essentially like the beginning of round 4, those picks way late, those comp picks, they'll take Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I think they will. I think they feel he has a lot in common. I don't know how they feel, but I think he has a lot in common with Brock Purdy in the sense that he's a 5-year starter for UCLA. A lot of experience. He can get the ball out of his hands quickly, like Brock Purdy. He completed 70% of his throws last year. He's a playmaker, which is why they wanted Trey Lance. Smart guy, which is why they wanted Trey Lance. Went to UCLA, and he can really throw it. He's a cannon. He can throw off platform. He can throw deep. I think the Niners like him. I go to UCLA games when they're up here in the Bay Area. When they play Cal, when they play Stanford, I go. And Adam Peters is always there too. Maybe he just likes going to see his alma mater play, or maybe he's been scouting DTR for a few years. Anyway, that's the guy I think the Niners are going to get. I think they're going to end up with Lance, Darnold, and DTR this year. And we'll see who they have on the team next year. But this is very interesting. You heard it straight from Brock Purdy. He doesn't really know, honestly, if he's going to play this year. And honestly, Brock, good for you. Be cautious. Do the right thing because you do have a bright future. You're a damn good quarterback. Don't let anyone rush you back because, frankly, coaches don't care about you as much as they say you do. Coaches will chew you up and spit you out, and once you're no longer useful, they'll forget about you. You know what I'm saying? Ask Robert Griffin III. So do what's right for you. If it's a year you need, fine. The Niners have draft picks. They have quarterbacks they can take. They got options. Don't even know if DTR will be available. If he's not, they could take Jake Haener. I just think they would take DTR ahead of him because I think they want a playmaker at quarterback. I do. Last year when they drafted Brock Purdy, they were looking for a backup. They were looking for Nick Mullins. They ended up getting a playmaker version of Nick Mullins because Mullins can't move. Purdy can. And I think the reason they like Purdy, or what surprised them about Purdy, was his feet, how he's actually a little bit of a playmaker, even though he doesn't throw the ball down the field that much. I think they want that. I think they're looking for that. Sam Darnold has a little bit of that in his game. Jimmy Garoppolo had none. He's out. Every quarterback who made it deep last year was a playmaker, not just a pocket passer. So it's not really Jake Haener. Dorian Thompson-Robinson. It's not a fluke that the Niners are looking at these mid-round quarterbacks. Start scouting these guys because really, if the Niners draft Dorian Thompson-Robinson from UCLA, he could be better than Sam Darnold right now. I mean, he could be starting games for them if Trey Lance gets injured. So that'll be interesting to look at. The quarterback market for the 49ers. Why have they? I kind of look at it like maybe they haven't been truthful on purpose. If they feel that Brock Purdy can't play this year, why would they tell us that in May, in April or March? Why would they tell anyone that? That's a secret. That's a secret that they don't want people to know. If Brock's not coming back and they don't have Jimmy, they probably want people to think that there's no issue here. Nothing to see here, guys. Look away. But frankly, they're in the quarterback market. If you're in the quarterback market, I don't think you want people to know you're in the quarterback market. That's the way I see this. I feel like Brock just told the truth. And everything we've heard from Kyle and John Lynch has been people, saying stuff when they're not under oath, essentially. Just sort of making it up as they go along. But now we get a little peek behind the curtain, and now we see. Why are they looking at these quarterbacks? Not because they're going to trade Trey Lance, because Brock Purdy might not play this year. That makes a lot more sense. Trade Trey Lance. Who the hell is going to trade for Trey Lance? He hasn't played in 3 years. I mean, what is he even worth? And why would the Niners give him away for nothing? That doesn't really make sense. Like the Trey Lance trade market, does that exist? I submit that it does not. I think he needs to play a little bit. I think the Niners can't just put a guy on ice for 3 years and say, hey, who wants him? There's going to be crickets. He needs to play a little bit before anyone offers them anything for him. So I think he's staying. They could cut Sam Darnold at the end of the, they could cut him if he doesn't play well, but they give him $3.5 million guaranteed. That's a lot of money to waste on a training camp. Makes sense to me that they would keep Lance, Darnold, draft a third quarterback, go in with those three guys and take it easy on Brock Purdy. I think that's the smart move. I think the Niners are going to be smart here. Again, I'm recalibrating how I interpret what they said at the owners' meetings. I was thinking, man, John Lynch is getting way ahead of himself here. He's going to put too much pressure on Brock Purdy to come back. Maybe he was just lying. I mean, he doesn't have to tell the truth. Didn't he do that? I mean, remember a couple years ago when Joe Staley was going to retire? All offseason, John Lynch was like, oh, yeah, Staley's coming back. Staley's fine. I just talked to Staley. Staley's coming back. And then they ended up trading for Trent Williams and Joe Staley retired. And John Lynch was like, sorry, I lied, guys. But you understand why. I didn't want people to know we were in the market for a left tackle. It's not a competitive advantage when everyone knows what you're looking for. So if the Niners are in the market for a lot of people are in the market for Dorian Thompson-Robinson, right? Eagles had a workout with him. A lot of teams are looking at him. He's rising quickly. I think the Niners probably don't want teams to know how much they need a quarterback or want one. So thank you, Brock Purdy, for letting us know what's going on. All the best to you and good luck in your rehab. And everyone else, start scouting quarterbacks, baby.